I am just really excited to do this. It's one of the most fun proclamations that we get to do. So proud to be able to serve with our colleague, Gabe Albornoz, who was the able leader of the Recreation Department. But particularly this year, I think we have seen the value of these two entities for county residents. These are Parks Department and a Recreation Department that really reimagine and re-envision what they were and what they could be. We saw residents who realized just how much they relied on our 424 parks and our 37,000 acres of parkland. We frankly saw recreation centers and other recreational facilities that were transformed into life-saving buildings, not just life-improving building and life-nurturing buildings like they are every day, but truly life-saving enterprises. I stood side by side, arm by arm, with many members of the Recreation Department who changed their job description overnight and were part of food distribution sites and hubs and all kinds of other entities to address the crisis that they were in. I think it really speaks to the volume of the workforce that we have, the talent that we have, the type of leadership that we have in these departments, and the amount of dedication to the community, which is really unrivaled and unmatched. And we saw a community that really got to appreciate even more than they normally do, both the public employees and also these public resources that we have in the county. I'm so proud and privileged to serve as the parks lead. I am so pleased to be able to serve with Council Vice President Albornoz, who has so much of a background in so many of the programs that we do during the day, in the evenings, after school, et cetera. And so I'd love to turn it over to him to say a few remarks and then follow that with the county executive as well. Vice President Albornoz.
Thank you, Councilmember Friedson, for pulling this proclamation together and for your leadership as lead on parks. You have really hit the ground running and have been a tremendous advocate and a tremendous bridge between so many different communities. So thank you for your continued leadership. And as you stated, for 12 years, I had the honor and privilege of leading what I think is the best recreation department in the United States of America. And I don't just say that because it's close to my heart. I say that as somebody who knows the dedication and the commitment of the staff and the volunteers, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. What the Recreation Department staff does is truly extraordinary, and our park staff as well. As you noted, Councilmember Friedson, this last year and a half has been extraordinary. And the value of the types of programs and services and facilities that we have within the parks and recreation space was never more important than it was this last year and a half. Facilities were converted to vaccination sites, homeless shelters, and they served as a true lifeline for so many of our county residents. Recreation and parks as an industry is an extraordinarily noble profession that provides health and wellness, that contributes to our economy, and that really helps contribute to the vibrancy of communities in so many ways, both big and small. And so it's important to recognize this month every year and the incredible work and professionalism of our tremendous staff here in Montgomery County, but also the assets that we have before us. Consistently every year when there is a county resident survey, Parks and Recreation, both programs, services, and amenities is always among the top 5 in what county residents select as the reason why they both selected to move to Montgomery County, but also choose to stay here. So I want to thank Tracy, I want to thank Mike, I want to thank Mary Wells Harley, and all of your respective teams, and especially my colleague and friend Robin Riley, who so ably leads our recreation department. And I will just thank you again one last time. There will never be enough thank yous, especially for this last year and a half. With that, I yield back to you, Councilmember Friedson.
Thank you so much for your leadership. And now the county executive, please.
Thank you, Andrew, for putting this together. And thank you, Gabe, for leaving me a department that truly is one of the best. They played such a pivotal role during the pandemic because, a lot of places just shut up and went home, and we actually pivoted the workforce there to be a workforce for whatever else we needed in this county. And there was just this enormous willingness to continue to serve. And it says a lot about the dedication that people have to serving. That, it's essential part of being in the recreation department anyway. And this extended beyond being rec workers. It extended on to being county employees who worked really hard for all the residents of the county. And, I know as, we go through the unwinding from COVID at its worst, that we see in the communities this real thirst for restoration of recreation programs. What people missed, what they want these things back. I wish we'd had an accurate crystal ball earlier and been able to know exactly when COVID was going to reach the point when things were more manageable, because we could have done some different planning. But, we deal with the realities that were handed at the time. But I'm really glad to see things opening up again, glad to see people being able to partake of things that mean a lot to them. You hear it from the kids and you hear it from the parents. This is a big deal. So the work people do and the services that they provide in our communities are really essential to quality of life. And we've got such beautiful parks, even if you're not using it for active recreation, just nice spaces to go and just walk around in and take advantage of, that which is beautiful here. And it's a lot of stuff we offer and a lot of stuff that we've been able to keep going. And I'm glad that people are hitting the ground running and bringing it all back to life again. So thank you for having me join you on this. I don't have a copy of it. Somehow it got detached from whatever I was going to read. So just so you know, I'm not sitting here with a copy I'm looking at.
Okay, we'll see if we can get you a copy, and if not, we'll read it on your behalf and take your portion. But appreciate you joining us today. It shows your commitment to both of these departments. And now let's hear from the people doing the work. Why don't we start with Director Riley, please?
Good morning, County Council and County Executive. Thank you so much for your recognition of July and as Park and Recs Month. It is an extremely rewarding period to be in the park and recreation business. The recognition of the value of the services we provide seems to be at an all-time high, whether it's people benefiting their physical fitness, their mental health, their social engagement, community building. Those are the types of words we're seeing in the feedback we get. And we're so thrilled we've been able to provide programs like the Open Parkways, the Picnic in the Park, great projects like the Henson Museum, the Maydale Nature Center, better athletic fields at our parks and schools. And I'm really proud of my team for being able to continue to deliver during the pandemic, when particular people so sorely needed those parks and open spaces and trails. It's very affirming that I can't really spend more than a minute scrolling through my social media feed without seeing pictures of people enjoying our parks, whether it's kids out playing sports on the field, people walking or biking on the trails or the parkways, or people participating in our activation programs. It's really kind of smacks you in the face that people are out there enjoying the parks and the programs. I need to thank the council so much for your support of the parks every year. At the last minute, you shake the couch cushions and you provide the resources that I need and that Casey Anderson needs to move the parks forward instead of reductions in services. So I need to thank you for that. And I need to thank my great team from Deputy Directors John Nissel and Mitty Figueretto on down. I have a great team of very self-motivated staff who deliver these great facilities and services. So again, thank you for supporting the Planning Board and Casey and I so that we can deliver these programs. And thank you for your recognition of Park and Rec Month.
Thank you so much. I'm one of those county residents who leaned on the trails and the park system more than ever during the pandemic, and not sure I would have survived it without it. So thank you to your team. And the original public-private partnership, I think, in Montgomery County was the Park and Planning Commission in our park system with local leaders and organizations. The Parks Foundation is such a critical part delivering what we do. It's not the council and the county and the state alone. It's really our volunteers and our Parks Foundation. Ms. Wells Harley, would you like to add anything?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I wasn't sure you could hear me. We had a little
Morning.
problem with our internet last night, so I was concerned about that. Thank you for this opportunity to be a part of this, receiving this proclamation. As many of you may know or may not know, I've spent my entire working career in the field of parks and recreation. And I have never been more proud than I was this year to see how my colleagues, my friends, my people that I knew in my working years, as well as those while I was on the planning board, to see how they responded to this. It is absolutely incredible. Having worked in the field for such a long time, which I will not mention the years, how many years that's been, I don't think I want to discuss that, but I know the kind of dedication that they showed, the kind of hard work, how difficult it is to kind of turn the ship around midway to make it more responsive to what the needs are. And I applaud them. I am so honored to be a part of it. And I'm definitely a proud member of the foundation. I think we work very well together. And I thank all of you for your support.
Thank you for your volunteer leadership, all you've done and continue to do as Vice President of the Foundation Board. We'll turn it over to Tracy Anderson with the Recreation Department. And we miss Robin Riley here today, but are so pleased to have you and so grateful for how you have led the department through such a challenging year. Please. We'll go ahead and read the proclamation. County Executive, do you have it yet, or do you want Council Vice President Albornoz and I to go ahead and do it?
I now have a copy of it.
Okay, great. Fantastic. We will begin. Whereas July 2021 marks the anniversary of National Parks and Recreation Month, a time to appreciate the Montgomery County Recreation Department and Montgomery Parks for improving the well-being of our community in physical, mental, and environmental spaces, and providing activities and facilities for all to use and value. And
whereas Montgomery Parks consists of 424 parks across over 37,000 acres that provide natural space, fields, picnic areas, historic structures, campsites, and activity buildings for residents to enjoy, while also maintaining a dedication to promote community through shared spaces and treasured experiences. And
whereas the Montgomery County Recreation Department provides facilities and services that have elevated the quality of life for community members spanning all ages, cultural backgrounds, and experiences. And
whereas Montgomery Parks and the Montgomery County Recreation have played exceptional roles in the community over the past year, creating safe spaces for residents to maintain social distancing while supplying mental and physical relief and serving in the community through use of facilities and services to aid those in need during the pandemic. Now, therefore, do we, Mark Elrich as County Executive, Gabe Albornoz as Council Vice President, and Andrew Friedson as Council Member of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby proclaim July as National Parks and Recreation Month in Montgomery County, and we encourage residents to join us in celebrating the staff, volunteers, and community members who dedicate their time to our parks and recreation with the vision to make a supportive and convivial Montgomery County. Signed on this day in July 2021 by County Executive Elrich, Council Vice President Albornoz, and myself. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you. Please send our appreciation to the entire team, and we'll turn it back to you, Council President. Thanks everybody for joining us.